Starlink.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
invented a way to get internet anywhere in the world, basically.
He has the
Yeah.
rockets. So he
That's why he's been sending up all these rockets. That's what
the
he's been doing for the last. When we were in Canaveral,
Making worldwide internet.
yeah. When we were in Canaveral, there was a. I mean, we saw a rocket launch here from the Bahamas like a few nights ago. He's launching them twice a week now from Canaveral. I mean, we were right there, and they're just like going up, like, boom, boom, boom. The ground shakes, and it's like wild.
he's like the spirit air space. He's just popping them out. He's just popping them out.
It's amazing.
So the satellite just goes somewhere in orbit and then just bounces off internet, basically.
There's thousands of them. He's like got like a blanket now. Like he's like blanketing. You can go to. There's a site that you can go to that shows you the live Starlink satellites all around the world. Like he's blanketed the world with satellites.
The world's gonna have Wi-Fi, but that's a lot of
It has.
5G going through our bodies.
It has Wi-Fi already.
Are we worried about like all the giant metal chunks in orbit just turning into like shrapnel? I mean, you realize how fast these things are going, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
No, we're not worried about that.
I don't think so.
There's so much space out there. Like it's just hundreds of thousands of miles of space.
What do you think? One's going to crap out and just like hit the ground and just take it out way down?
It won't hit
up. They'll just shrink down and shrivel down the little rocks.
It's exactly. It's not. It's an orbit, so it's not going to drop, right? Because that's the whole point of orbit. But
yeah,
it's okay. I want to get your votes. Do you believe anyone's actually been to space? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so you're a no. Michael, what about you?
So 50-50.
Wait. Let's define that. To the moon, I say no. Space, I say yes.
You say orbit?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So you don't think that the Vander whatever belt or whatever is too radioactive for humans to get through so far with our technology?
No, I think it's possible. And I think they've got. I think that's not an issue, but I think going to the moon and that whole moon landing and all of that, I think that's a load of crap.
Yeah.
Why do you think that though?
Well, they had to beat the Russians. They had to beat the Russians, and it was an American pride thing. I don't know if you've done much research into the state of America at the time in the 60s, but it was literally the entire. It was like, imagine the whole country supporting one team up for the Super Bowl. Like it was like that. The team was the NASA moon landing team. They were the quarterbacks, and they were doing this thing, and it was do or die. Like, we are beating the Russians. The Cold War is probably not going to happen, but these guys have threatened us. We hate them. They've stolen our technology. We're spying on us. We are better. We are Americans. We are leading the world. yeah. It was like that, man. It was like fire. People were there on the beach.
Actually,
like, it was huge.
Now that I think of it like that, I don't think we actually landed on the moon. The thing that's really weird is, why haven't we gone back like 19 times and filmed it?
You know why,
what's
Michael?
going on? Like, well, all of a sudden we went in the 60s when technology was dog shit, and then now we have amazing technology and rockets, and we just won't go back.
Something is being hidden for sure, and the technology was suppressed. And Elon Musk came out and said, "Screw you guys, I'm doing this."
Right. There's stuff going on. I mean,
the technology was
think
suppressed.
I think when they did the whole, like, during COVID and all that stuff, and they're like, hey, there's all these UFOs and blah, 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 and then release all the information. The Pentagon released all the classified UFO information. And then it's probably like, once they started going up there, they're like, oh, okay, we see what's going on up here. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to the moon.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. We're not going to go near that fucking thing. And then obviously, but we just never went back. Like, why not have like a trip, like a little cruise trip that astronauts can go and just hang out on the moon. And it's like, yeah, then they haven't done
he's
that,
working
or just
towards
filmed
that.
it.
Elon Musk is working towards that. He's like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
If we don't have the technology now, we definitely didn't have the technology in the 60s. Like the amount of calculations and fuel you need to get that far, it's really far away, by the way. Like it's quite far.
It's very
So
far.
to get that trip and have the shuttle intact to reach the moon and everything back in the 60s, and you can't even do it right now. Like you obviously can't do it right now. Even Elon was like, I can't get to the moon. There's not enough resources and fuel, and you can't. The fuel tanks aren't big enough. Like the massive shuttle you'll need to hold that is
Yeah,
insane.
but the whole thing about the moon was it was propelled, right? The whole thing was that it was basically just like a rubber band propelled, and then momentum caused it. This is what theoretically happened. Momentum got it to the moon, because once you're in space, there's nothing to stop you, right? If you're moving, you're going to keep. And then it orbited the moon, and it shot back because the gravitational pull is the idea, at least of Apollo 13, the movie. You know, they shot back. So I don't know. I think
once you get close to the moon, the gravitational pull and the fuel you'll need to stop yourself from crashing into that with the gravitational pull is a lot of fuel. And then you have to also get back to Earth and the gravitational pull of Earth and the fuel you'll need to stop yourself from crashing into the Earth.
No,
that's what
the Earth is a parachute. That's how they supposedly did it. It was, you know, you go through orbit, the radiation belt, and then a parachute comes out in it. You know, at like what 20?
No, I'm saying for the shuttle, for the big hunk of metal that as if it, with holding all the fuel and rockets and everything.
The booster.
Once you start to get into orbit of Earth, you have to use a lot of fuel to not go really fast from the gravitational pull. And then same with the moon. There's a lot of gravitational pull and etc. So that's why technically the fuel tanks that you'll need for those occurrences are going to be way bigger than the shuttle they had, and that's what doesn't make any sense about the moon landing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, yeah, it's hard to tell. And then there's Blue Origin, right? And that's doing their thing, and that's, you know, that's Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and all that. And their whole thing is to be able to carry human beings and travel. Their thing is like they want to make it like, you know, like JetBlue, you know, where people can just go to Mars, go to wherever. They buy a ticket and it's a vacation. That's kind of the idea. So I do think what's realistic, as long as the radiation belt gets figured out, because I think that's real, is that Mars is probably going to be the first place for destinations. There's going to be like pods and stuff, and, you know, kind of like
Total Recall.
Yeah, like Total Recall, exactly. You know, a woman with 3 boobs.
I think we're about 70 to 100 years away still.
No, yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm not so sure. You guys think that, but the rate of technology increasing is exponential. Then you throw AI into that, man, that just speeds it up even more. I think that we are moving at a pace that humankind just cannot comprehend, because we're all stuck in our everyday problems.
Yeah,
we are moving at a rapid pace.
Yeah, I know, it's true. And speaking of rapid pace, so is e-commerce. Ooh, you guys like that? You like how I just threw that back in there?
So that was a good pivot.
Yeah, it's a good pivot. What's new with you guys? What's going on with the with your trials and tribulations on e-commerce, Amazon, etc., off Amazon?
Well, I've been learning a lot about TikTok lately. Still, it's an ongoing learning process, and what some of these guys are doing that are doing huge numbers. But the things that I recently learned is that the way to properly do TikTok is like if you follow it in a step-by-step basis to make a product blow up or go huge on both Amazon, TikTok, etc., is it's a quantity game. So one, your product has to be the first step is product has to be viral worthy. Like it's not an oversaturated market. It's not like everybody's talking about, you know, like greens. Like greens is so oversaturated on TikTok that, you know, if someone starts talking about greens, it's probably not going to happen unless you have the quantity of people. So all these big companies you'll see that start to go viral on TikTok, thousands of creators, thousands. They invest millions of dollars into thousands of creators to make to merge a greens into the market. So, and theoretically it'll work. So if you only want to do like 3 to 500 creators, you need something really niche. But either way, you still need 3 to 500 creators, which
Yeah.
means the magnitude of and each creator posting several times, by the way. So
Yeah.
it's not just like, unless you have something that is so new and different, like you just invented a whole new thing that everyone would want. So, but you need about, yeah, between, you could be as low as 200 creators, but that's like on the low end, by the way. So, and it's kind of like Amazon and rebates and whatever, So it's just like, instead of doing that, or doing times 200 or 500, you do times 200 or 500 creators. And
Yeah.
each one of them gets a sample. So you're giving the product away to 2 to 500 people. And the first problem you have to run into is you have to vet their profiles, right? And if their GMV is, at a minimum, they've produced sales before, and then their criteria of their audience and their videos they've posted, et cetera, meet your criteria. So what most people do is they build bots. They build bots going, so here's thousands of creators. Let's narrow those 100,000 creators down to, a few thousand, reach out to 20 or 30,000 creators with a bot. And then out of those 20 or 30,000 creators you get, which on an automated bot process, you'll get about 4 to 6% that opt in. And then that's typical. And then that's how you get your 2 to 500 creators. And then past that, you also develop, there's like, all these other sites like Creator Corner, and there's also Discords. People are on Discord groups that have creators in them. And that's how you can find additional creators to opt in. And again, it's a volume quantity, right? Get in these groups and get as many of them as possible. And that's basically the game. But the first step is, does your product even qualify to get in that game?
Yeah, if you're trying to sell Band-Aids, okay, you might have a problem. But if you got something cool, new, TikTok worthy, you're saying, that's the start. So let's say you have that product. It's a cool product. It's unique. It's got some wow factor. It does good on video. What kind of creators are you looking for? Are you really, I mean, with that much quantity, are you able to even be nitpicky? Do you give a shit if they have followers, or do you not even care?
You can't be too nitpicky, and you just care about GMV as your main metric. So gross merchandise value. So you just care about if they've sold anything. Well, like a lot of what these companies are doing, because it's a saturated market, is they're just going, if you've produced 100 in GMV, like, you're good. Like, let's just go for you.
Yeah.
And and then a lot of and the other tactic is, of course, these guys that produce 30 or 40,000, offer them, and there's different tiers. I actually have the tiers right here of what to pay them. So here's the standard way to get into it, and what pretty much people found.
Share your screen.
Acceptable rates. So if they've had anything below 1 million views, is usually you can pick it away paying around 300. And then 1 to 5 million is about 500. 5 million to 20 million is about 750 to 1,000. 20 million plus is 1,000 plus. And those are the monthly retainers that you'd pay the people.
And what do you usually get out of that for a monthly retainer?
The potentiality of them posting a video that goes viral. So you're paying them that retainer to continuously post because they've had something go viral before.
But what I
retainer to be a brand ambassador, basically.
What I found is there's only so much you can post. Like, if you overpost, it fucks with your views. So like, I'm sure there's a sweet spot every 3 days, every 5 days.
About 3 to 5 videos a month for that retainer.
So it's like once a week, basically.
Yeah, it's like once a week, once here and there to post a video. So, and some people will come in and be like, "I'm $2,000," and if they haven't had a video that's gone viral, if they've had like below, you're like, no, you're at this tier. Like, you've had 750,000 views, you're a $300 a month retainer. Like, you're not more than that. You're not worth more than that.
Yeah, you're not.
So,
sure.
But there's a lot of creators that are, dreamers. They're like, oh, I've had 1 million views in a video. Just pay me $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 to post one video. And you're like, you're right. Smart companies don't work with those kind of people that are like, stingy. So smart TikTok creators, just when the guy's like, "Oh, I've had 1 million views, I'm worth millions of dollars now." You're like, "No, you know, you've had one successful video." But now, if every single video they're posting gets 1 million+ views, it's like, yeah, you're going to be worth a few grand, for as a retainer. Like, absolutely. And then you get the affiliate commission on the back end, and you negotiate that at 20% plus the retainer, and you'll get that. So, and those guys, but still, you got to reach out. You still got to have 20 or 30 of those guys in order for your brand to, because you're paying all these retainers, and you can drain your account really quickly. But one of them's going to take off. One of them's going to do well. You're going to get sales that come in, and that's essentially the tactic, is finding those creators, looking, and that's the labor part. You have to find them, and then you have to talk to them, and they have to agree. But a lot of them, if you're offering them money up front, especially if you look at their profile and they've had those. So what people do is they build these bots, and then they sift through people like that, and then it messages them automatically. And then, you get the people, if they're interested and they see your product and like, I want to feature your product, and they're happy with it, then they go, you go through the process with them and negotiate a retainer, and they start posting your video and blah. So most people, though, if they don't have that kind of views, they're going to, they don't need to do a retainer. You just do a free product and affiliate commission. And then the odds of it working or anything happening with it are minimal. Right?
Yeah,
so you just have to do 500 of them.
Like 5%, 500 of them, 25 are gonna do well, and maybe 2 are gonna go viral. 3 are gonna go viral.
Right.
Maybe.
That's the idea.
And the ones that go viral, I've heard, are not necessarily the ones you expected. It's not necessarily the person you expected. It's just this kind of mystery sandwich as to like, okay, wow, that's what went viral. Cool. And yeah, what I'm just trying to figure out is how to make that process easy. That sounds like 24 hours a day, no sleep, exhausting spreadsheets, sending random people money on PayPal. It just sounds like a nightmare, to be honest.
Yeah, and then they complain because there's some fees that they didn't want to cover.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So and that a bot will do most of it. So, and then the people that you do get that respond, you just need a good person trained to respond back with knowing their profile, knowing their tiers. Well, this person falls on tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4.
Yeah. Makes sense. I like the tier system. I just it almost smells like I need to make a dashboard software that automates that whole process, where you can literally just pick people and then money goes to them and the contract is automatic and they just click, you click. It just sounds like all these steps could be automated with a software.
It's a bit more complicated than that, Ian, because then the problem is now you get into, your client has these expectations of how their brand should be represented. I've had this. I did this for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, she wasn't smiling enough. She didn't look happy enough. No, what's that thing in the background over there? Take the tree out the way. And then the influencer's like, piss off. Yeah. I did this for you 3 times. You're going to pay me more money or I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
There are already a lot of softwares, by the way, that do this.
Okay. What's the big one?
The big one is, I have to find it. It's called, well, I have to find it. It's in my history. Let me look at my history because I was on it checking it out.
Yeah, we can share that in the show notes because I'm interested to see
So I have to find it. Like I was looking at, but I totally blanked out on the name just now.
Okay.
I think it was from a week. I'll look at it, but you guys can. I'll look for it real quick.
Yeah, what's going on with you, Ryan? What's the latest?
Oh, there's a lot of things happening. Oh, I didn't hear you on mute.
Yeah, it's fine. I was just speaking to the wifey. Go ahead.
I see. Google. This is really, really hush news, but Google has introduced a way to have PMAX campaigns send traffic to Amazon and attribute sales and add to carts and optimize for conversions in PMAX. Now this is yes, I know. This is like 3 days old. I've been trying to figure it out. It's hard. It's probably super beta, but they've announced it.
Oh, so there's an official announcement from
It's been
Google?
announced.
I thought you made it sound when you said hush hush. I thought it was like hush hush. No one's announced it. Like this is.
It's in the like, you know, the forums of the nerds.
Oh yeah. Deep track. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's very, very, you know. Okay, how is this working? You have to have special access. I haven't been able to track it down just yet. I'm spending a lot of time figuring this out, but that's a bit of a game changer right there.
how would that be able to do that? Because Amazon owns their own add to cart data. How is Google able to pull that?
Amazon is sending an API link to Google, which Google is now enabling.
So they're talking to each other. They're working together.
This is apparently what's occurring. I have not seen it with my own eyes. I'm just telling you that this is word on the street. It's on Google's help. It's on Google has a help section. Just created. I mean, it's like 3 days old.
And what does this mean for the softwares that we know do this? If it's real.
I don't know. I have to use it to tell you. I don't know.
So for anyone watching that doesn't know this world, basically there's always been this block between Google and Amazon, which is basically a conversion on Amazon is not communicated with Google. So if you are paying for sponsored ads on Google and you're sending traffic to your Amazon store, you're going blind, right? You don't know if that click bought, and that's kind of an impossible way to run any advertising. So what we've been doing for the last few years is there's been a couple softwares that have solved this problem by connecting Amazon through the brand referral link, connecting Amazon to Google. So you're able to run Google traffic very similar to regular Amazon PPC with exact ACOS, add to carts, and you can really look at every keyword. What Ryan's saying here is that these softwares may have a competitor called Google doing it themselves with Amazon. So I just want,
yeah. And this is starting off with PMAX, Ian. It's starting off with PMAX. So what that means is,
why PMAX?
So PMAX is very limited in the data that you can get back from Google. Okay, so it's called a black box. Any Google ad guy knows, girl knows it's black box because you don't get data back. You have to rely on Google and trust Google to a very big degree.
Sure.
So this is going to allow you to run shopping ads to Amazon. And the next iteration of this, should this take off, would be search, I'm assuming.
So right now, this would not compete with the other software. Actually, it kind of would in a way, because maybe people would prefer to go shopping versus search.
Well, at this point, if I can't figure it out, I can tell you none of my clients are going to figure it out.
No, obviously nothing's actually occurred because you're not actually able to run a campaign. So
nothing. I'm like,
yeah.
It's just a very short, brief infiltration.
I see. Wow, that's interesting.
Yes, so that's what's new in this space.
That's new. That is new.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, actually.
And then the other
part
thing
of Google and Amazon to do. Yeah. It's like that's why I never understood why Amazon closed its doors to sellers wanting to send Amazon traffic. But I mean, obviously they had reasons for it, but because it was tough to figure out. But they're figuring out ways to open their doors to sellers, sending them traffic and tracking the data.
Well, they have to, because otherwise that closed door opens the door to competition. They have to embrace it.
So both companies
embrace it. I mean, it's smart as a company for everybody else to do paid promotion for you.
Yes, of course.
As Amazon.com, like Amazon.com needs to do minimal advertising because it has all its own sellers sending millions of billions of sessions to it.
Of course.
On their dime, not on its dime.
And they're not all going to buy that client's product. They're going to maybe look at
Oh,
other
they're going to
people's
buy a flat
products.
screen TV. They're going to buy an office chair. They're going to buy some
Whatever.
kitchen
But
stuff.
they're there. They're
Whatever.
there now. They're there now.
They're there now.
Yeah.
They're going to go shopping now that they're there, and then Amazon makes the seller pay for those, and then they of course get.
So this is a definite benefit to both parties because Google is going to get a shit ton more paid traffic, paid click, right? PPC, and Amazon's going to be able to benefit from the fact that the Amazon seller has the metrics they need to manage it.
Yeah.
Hell, Amazon might eventually roll out Amazon ads for Google inside of their own sponsored ads platform.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're going, is that they're going to allow the seller to control Google ads from within Seller Central.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Within the current sponsored. Yeah. Like its own little section or tab.
That's why they'd be doing that, because they don't want also the seller going outside of Amazon Seller Central.
Yeah.
And then to make it really complex for sellers, I think they're going to open the doors at some point to a new campaign type, create Google ads from within, and they're going to connect up with Google and partner with them to create Google ads within Seller Central, just like PPC, and manage it from Seller Central. That's why I think they're going to go with that.
This is like the biggest killer of software companies. The biggest killer of software companies is a bigger company ends up just doing the software themselves and basically regulating you completely useless. Like this happens so much.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember Periscope?
Yeah.
Periscope was like a thing where you can do like you can go live on video.
Live video, yeah.
And then the other platforms, Twitter, Facebook, were like, all right, we're just going to build Facebook Live. We're going to build, live on X and all these things. And Periscope was gone. So it's like, for these softwares out there that are dependent upon Google, dependent upon Amazon technology, how hard is it for their whole business model to be gone tomorrow by Amazon or Google just saying, you know what, we're going to add this new feature. It's added. There you go. Everyone has it. Everyone cancels their subscription. You're out of business.
And I think also, Ian, this is what you're saying is true. And it's going to become, that window is going to become more rapid.
It's going to get smaller. Yeah.
As technology increases and, you've got AI assisting programmers, you've got an idea that can get implemented in hours instead of weeks, and actually rolled out in a day, which is really, And so you see the idea, you go, good, I'm going to implement this. Your AI is writing code. It's writing code. So you've got a few smart people working with AI, guiding it, getting an end product, beta testing it. What used to take months is taking a week max, and that's beta tested and rolled out. Like tech is going at a pace that humanity is not tracking with. And I'm not scared of it. I'm embracing it because, if you are watching and you're ahead of the curve, it all revolves around human behavior. So there's no point in saying I'm going to go into fear. It's like it's all about how to extract money from people's decisions. That's everything. And so you're like, okay, cool. As long as I'm there, working with it, in with it, part of it, I'm good. The people that aren't going to do very well are the guys that are retired.
Yeah.
They're fully retired. Like they're out. The guys that sold the tech companies and are young, that thought maybe they'll do something when they get older, they're not going to do nothing. They better make sure that money that they got is enough.
Yeah. They're not going to try to jump into this shit. This is
no. This is they're way out. If they're out for a year,
you're out.
They're out.
Yeah.
See you later. Go do something. Go make woodwork and sell it on sell it in a little shop somewhere.
Yeah.
But this is
the name, by the way, of everything.
The what?
For TikTok, I found the name. Found all the companies you can work with, but Fastmoss is one of them. Fastmoss has a lot of tools for TikTok Shop. And it's pretty inexpensive, and it gives you a lot of analytics and connects you up to creators and has a bunch of cool features. The other one is brandsmeetcreators.com.
Okay.
And then the groups that you want to be part of are Creators Corner. Those are where you can find a lot of those creators.
Good to know. I like the Moss one because the name just says
Fast Moss.
Fast Moss.
That's actually apparently the #1 TikTok shop software to use.
Really Fast Moss.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to use it, but it's like the #1.
Huh. Best TikTok analytics tool for e-commerce. The first and largest TikTok data analytics platform. Yeah. See, this is
Apparently, like you can't even do TikTok shop without it.
really.
Yeah.
But you realize like everything that they're doing, TikTok can just build. It's going to take time, like but it's fast, right?
They're
like,
so far behind. That's why these softwares found these holes and plug these kind of shit in, because TikTok has so many problems right now that they're all over the place to solve these things. They are Amazon back in 2004. There's so many things to go over and so many things to fix. So, and in the meantime, there's software filling those holes, and those softwares are going to be coasting and optimizing too, while TikTok is getting their shit together. It's going to be years before TikTok figures it out.
But Michael, are you not following or concerned? I mean, I'm sure you're following or concerned about this whole political ban and all this other stuff that's going on around the platform. They're like forcing them to sell, and they're saying no.
After I talked to some people, no, not concerned. Actually, I'm less and less concerned about it. So, basically, from what I found out, like insiders at TikTok are saying, like the higher ups are saying, it's going to be, for them to be able to legally do anything, it's going to take at least a year and a half. At least. They can start the legality and logistics in 6 months and that's cool, but it's going to take, and then they have lawyers postponing things, and that's going to take at least a year and a half. And then, but the truth is, TikTok shop in TikTok are opening so many countries right now that the US is going to be basically the only country without TikTok. So in the end, the US is going to seem more like communist China than communist China. Because every other country is, TikTok open arms, and then the US is going to be the one like, we don't allow that here for our citizens. And it's like, whoa, this is getting dark, So in the end, the citizens of America are going to see that. They're opening right now in Germany. They're opening in other countries, which is a very smart. So politically, TikTok's playing a really smart move by opening every other country. And then, the time, if a year and a half from now, TikTok's in every other country but the US, and the US has the ban, kind of like Facebook, Facebook is banned in China, but allowed in every other country. But China's communistic, and yet the US is, in this free capitalistic whatever, and then they're banning apps. It's like, well, this is going to create a little bit of a political problem for the liberty of US citizens. And so they're kind of playing it smart. They're like throwing it in the US's face, like, cool, ban us. Watch what happens with your liberty and your freedom and whatever, because it's like the US is going toward communism in that case, banning apps. So for people freely communicating and whatever. So we'll see, but apparently it's going to be a long road anyway.
Oh, if it ever happened, it'd be like a couple of years.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple of years. And then in worst case scenario, it's like, well, it's banned in the US, but you can, still set up your TikTok shop in every other country. The opportunity is still there. Right. And so the good news is the US TikTok shop is so oversaturated, but those other countries just opening up. So the second you want to go international, where it's very hard to compete with all the regulations on Amazon, when you want to go into Amazon, Italy, France, Germany, Spain, etc., you can go on a TikTok shop, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, etc. Because the only thing they're really doing in the US is banning the app. So, but you don't need the app to set up your TikTok shop.
What do you mean?
On desktop.
The website will still work?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could ban the domain, but it's super easy to get around that. Like they can.
Yeah, but now you're talking about
in a couple of years from now, if you try to go to TikTok.com in the US, they can put a nationwide ban on that domain or something.
Yeah,
that's going to take forever. They've never done that before, so to implement a nationwide domain ban, is going to be insane. It's going to be years before they can do it. But if they do ever accomplish it, I mean, anybody can log in using a VPN to TikTok.
Yeah, but you're talking about jumping through a lot of hoops just to watch a video of people doing a funny dance. Why would you do that? Who cares enough
Well,
jump
remember that
those hoops
TikTok
just to
Shop will
do
be
it.
active in every other country.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can just go on Amazon, rather, who cares?
Well, there's going to be a shitload of sales happening on TikTok Shop in those countries. So, and if you're one of the few people that are and one of the first people listed on there with your products, in Germany, for example, or any other country, and you get German creators to start featuring your product, and you're one of the TikTok Shop's going to be new, but all these people are going to be using TikTok in those countries. So then you're going to be one of the pioneers going in with one of the few products available on TikTok Shop in those countries. So that's the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge demand, low supply.
Again, I think it's a lot of work. Like you were saying in the beginning, TikTok. It's a lot of work. I did a bunch of work with influencers, and here's my 2 cents on the whole thing, that whole game. You're either going to work with a big influencer that's got a following and a demonstrated history of conversions with your niche, and they're not tied in already with somebody else. You're going to spend a lot of money with some people who are doing $300 videos, and you're probably not going to get many sales. You're going to get new eyeballs on your products, but here's the definition of an influencer. All right, look at that. Like, what does that word mean? They influence people. The word doesn't say video maker. The word doesn't say happy dancer, pretty
Well, they call them
smiler.
creators now, not even
Yeah,
influencers anymore.
sure. Maybe
Just
maybe creator passes that definition of the $300 price tag. Maybe that's a creator, but influencer, that definition means they get someone, they influence their decisions. So very, very good case in point is I'm selling dog supplements. I have a veterinarian with 3 million followers in the US, and I'm now going to endorse your supplements to my 3 million viewers because I've tried them on my 3 dogs, and all of them are so happy. The one had a limp leg and is now no more limping. They're sleeping. They're happy. They're running around all day where they were just laying down all the time. And I'm showing everybody how these natural, organic, whatever the case is, products are helping my dogs as a 3 million follower influencer. Now these guys are listening. They're looking. They're like, oh, yeah, that looks like it's pretty good. And this person who I trust and like and know is telling me it's good because he's done it or she's done it. And now I'm going to pay that $50, but actually I'm going to get a $10 discount because I'm buying it through their link. That's an influencer. Like that right there, that's your recipe for success. That's
and that guy can't do 4 videos.
That's tried and true.
Correct.
And that guy's not going to whore himself out and do
No.
50 videos.
No, that's the tried and true method.
Yeah, and you can't scale that guy. Like he's only going to pick very specific brands.
If he's smart, yeah, and he's going to pick the highest payer. He should.
Yeah, and he's going to stick with a couple brands, and that's it. He's not going to take every freaking phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the difference is on TikTok, because I've had videos on my products go viral when they had 100 followers or less, 80 followers, and they had 4 million views on that video featuring my product. So, and I think that is where the creator versus influencer aspect pops in, because people have recreated that scenario with not an influencer, just a person who randomly shits out content and it happens to go viral. Right? That's the difference, and that TikTok gave people that opportunity to, on a slot machine, go viral. Right. So, and the whole thing is, if you're playing the slot machine game, you got to continue to pull the lever over and over thousands of times in order to get a jackpot. Right. So the idea is the people that are making money on TikTok are literally putting so many creators to work.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again, because the odds are you're going to win some jackpots out of that.
But also
And
you're
that's
applying some top of funnel tech there. You're basically saying, I'm seeing this number of times over, seeing it, eyeballs, number of times over. Eventually, I'm like interested in this product. It's like that song. The first time you hear that song, it's just a song. And the second time you hear it, oh, I heard this. Eventually, the fifth to the seventh time, it's catching on. Other people are singing it. It's playing all the time. It's like, I like this song.
it's marketing. I mean, it's like seeing a billboard, hearing a radio ad, seeing a TV commercial,
Yeah.
seeing an ad on your Facebook, and then you're like, what is this product, right? And so if you
That's your
have
top of
500,
funnel
so
touch
if
points.
you want to do a grassroots movement,
Mm.
you get 500 creators, right? You're getting a product into the grassroots of all these communities.
Mm.
And of course, it's like, and then of course, TikTok keeps having this product show up everywhere. And then the odds are a couple of videos are going to go
Number
viral
of
because it's
times
showing up
over.
everywhere.
Yeah, number of
It's
times over. Same, different
That's the
person, same
strategy.
product. Different person, same product. Now it's like interesting. It's like, what is this? That is pure top of funnel. There's
That's
no
top
real.
of funnel, and it works. It's the other tried and proven strategy, but it's expensive.
I mean, for me, if you want to launch a brand properly and really compete with people in the top of your market, unless you've invented something, you got to have this figured out. You got to have this figured out. If you don't, pain. It's gonna be a lot of pain ahead. A lot of pain. It's
Yeah.
like work.
You need
Work a lot.
massive grassroots
Yeah.
movement on a new brand. Massive. And it's
Have to.
however big you think you're going with your grassroots movement on that brand, go bigger, like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have 200 creators post, do 500. If you're gonna have 500, do 1,000. I mean,
That's right.
unless you want to do a very soft, gentle launch, like I only want to sell 1,000 units in the first month and scale slowly at 5% growth a month and take 10 years to build my brand. And that's cool, right? And that's, you're just using it as your brand as your retirement fund. Otherwise, if you want to go hard and emerge into the market with, guns blazing, yeah, you're going to get 500 or 1,000 creators creating a grassroots movement on your product. And you better have a very unique product. Like, don't just do greens. Like, you want to try to do a grassroots movement on your new greens, you might need 2,000 creators to compete against the guys that have already used 5,000 creators.
Yeah.
And it's just number of creators. Like, if you go and look at other greens, they might have 5,000 videos posted on TikTok already. So you're like, cool, I have to do 10,000. I have to double them. I want to be bigger than them, then I have to double their amount of creators that they have. So that's how you would beat your competition or bully them. But hey, to do that, you got to order, 10, 20, 30,000 units as your opening order to give away that many to all those creators.
Yeah.
So if you want to come in guns blazing, you got to have some pockets. You got to have some deep pockets. If you want to come in and do 5% growth and sell 1,000 units over 3 months or 4 months, that's easy. I mean, technically almost anyone could do that who knows a little bit about e-commerce.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I'm about to jump into that world a little bit. I'm inspiring to start a brand of my own. And I'm about to either feel the pain or bask in the glory. We'll see.
But you want to go in guns blazing, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't start an e-commerce agency for nothing. I didn't do this.
Yeah, you gotta have a proven model.
Yeah, and the product's going to be pretty TikTok friendly, and it's going to be good. I'm not disclosing anything on a podcast, but when it launches, I will share it with the audience. Let's put it that way, because they'll see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Another great episode. I think we actually had like a few weeks off there for a little bit. I think I was on vacation. Ryan was learning how to sail with like a kite, some shit. So, but now we're he's still learning. Now we're back once a week, and have a great week, guys. And for everyone listening, have a great weekend yourself. It's a beautiful Memorial Day weekend coming up here. Actually, no, this weekend's not Memorial Day, but it's gorgeous outside. So hopefully it's nice on Memorial Day too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Awesome. Have a good one.
Cheers, everybody.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.